love my children, and I'm glad that I'm their parent, but I don't really like being a parent.
Becoming a parent is the best thing that ever happened to me, hands down. But I do wish it would have happened a little later in life. By becoming a parent at 23, 24 years old, I struggled a lot in life. Financially, emotionally, trying to find my way to my purpose and climb the career ladder. Trying to balance having fun, taking care of myself, being a great parent, like being there for my kid in every activity that they do or want to do, while still being me, while still maintaining myself and independence. So I get it. It's not easy to be a parent at all, and different situations can make it even rougher. If you're a single parent or you have outside of the norm hours of work, you have multiple jobs, just whatever, it can be really hard to be an adult in this society in and of itself, let alone raising kids as well. So I get it, and there's a wave of people now speaking out against being a parent.
Having a kid is too fucking complicated. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to be responsible for this tiny human. I just want to be responsible for myself.
And even wanting other people to never become a parent. And I really think it's interesting to see other people's perspectives on the subject of parenthood, what goes into it, what you get out of it, and if it's even worth it at the end of the day.
The truth is, I don't like being a mom. I don't like motherhood. I don't enjoy motherhood because I have a different experience. Being a mother when you are a single mother is a totally different experience, and a lot of times you don't get to enjoy being a mother, like truly enjoy it.
But I'm Jew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
So I posted one time that I love my children, and I'm glad that I'm their parent, but I don't really like being a parent. I gotta acknowledge that that's gonna rub people the wrong way, and I get it. A lot of people have a really hard time holding two conflicting truths at one time. I do not. I understand that I could be blessed to have an opportunity, and I can also be frustrated by the most stressful parts of that opportunity. Those two different things can live in the same apartment. And again, I love my children. You always gotta qualify it with that. I love my children, but parenthood is like, you know how we all got that cousin, you love them, but you don't really like them? Like, bro, if we weren't related, you and I would never be in the same place and have a conversation. That's my relationship with parenthood.
I think that's a common sentiment among people that have kids. Like, you love your kids, but what you go through as a parent and what you have to sacrifice, whether that's your own time, energy, or goals, it is taxing, and it does take a lot out of it. And I know for sure there are people that became parents that if they could do it all over again, they probably wouldn't.
But even selflessness is just not my bag. It's never been. I need something for me. What's going on here? I thought that I'd be more of a my children are my world kind of parent. My mom was that kind of parent, and all of her happiness was tied up in my happiness. And she died a woman who didn't really know who she was.
I think that's a generational thing. My mother and grandmother were both kind of the same way. They lived through us kids, wanted to support us through every goal and everything we did. And if we were happy or successful, they were happy or successful. Whereas I do feel like these later generations, probably from millennial on, are a bit more selfish. We have goals that we want to do. We want to travel. We want to see the world. We want to experience things. And honestly, I don't think my mother ever left the country until her kids took her somewhere. So I do think that's different generationally than it was before.
Parenthood does not have a right to all of my identity. I am more than just a dad. I was my own person for 30-something years before my first daughter was born. I'm my own person in the mix of giving me to them too. And I'm gonna be a person long after they leave me to have their own families. My whole identity is not wrapped in parenthood. And if yours is, I think that's absolutely fine, but mine is not. Can't do it. I love how there's not supposed to be different genres of parenting. Like, we're all supposed to approach this thing with the same mindset. Absolutely not.
I think that's another mistake, or another, at least, like, trial that young parents or new parents, especially if you have kids when you're younger, have to figure out. Like, you don't have to sacrifice your whole identity to become a parent. You don't have to stop hanging out or doing fun things with friends. You could still be who you are and be a great parent. It's just that priority shifts and free time shifts, and you just have to be more strategic with how you do things. And while I think he approached this conversation from definitely a more calm, philosophical standpoint about parenthood and individuality, there are other people where it just seems like parenthood is getting to them and kicking their ass.
The truth is, I don't like being a mom. I don't like motherhood. And let me explain. First, I want to make sure I make it clear. I love my child. I care for my child. I would never let anything happen to her. I don't enjoy motherhood because I have a different experience. Being a mother when you are a single mother is a totally different experience. And a lot of times you don't get to enjoy being a mother, like truly enjoy it. I know there's going to be mothers out there that say they enjoy every aspect, no matter what their circumstances are. But I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy it because I was robbed of the true motherhood experience of having support, care, a true village. If you know, you know. As a single mom, you carry a whole different type of weight. It's almost as if you are in a constant survival mode. Even if you have a village such as your mom, your brother, sister, grandma, cousins, and aunties, that is not a permanent in-house village. Those are people that you have to go outside your home to help you. You don't have a partner here to truly help. If you just want to go run up the street to the store, if you just want to go get some quick gas, if you just want a late night snack, you always got to bring that baby. And again,
Everybody should be able to acknowledge that being a single parent definitely is more taxing and more work and takes more responsibility and more patience than it is if you were in a shared household. And I think that's the power of being in a shared household or a marriage, that you get to share those responsibilities and stresses and enjoyment as well. And you get breaks for yourself physically and emotionally. That's why villages are so important. I know myself, I probably spent just as much time with my grandmother as I did with my mother growing up. That was the village. While my mom was at work, I was at my grandma's house after school, before school, all of that. That was my second home. Then my mother would pick me up and I would be with her the rest of the night. It definitely takes a village, especially depending on different situations.
it's not that I don't love my baby. It's just that sometimes it can be a burden to always have a child on your back and think about them and care for them and support them and protect them. Like, it's just so much all the time. So my experience as a mother, it's not something that really brings me joy, if I'm going to be honest with you.
That's sad. I don't think she's saying anything wrong. I think she's being honest, but that's sad. But I get most of my joy out of life from being a parent, to be honest with you.
I don't truly find joy within the motherhood experience. I probably come off a little mean and stern or annoyed towards my child. And that's something that I'm really trying hard to work on. But when I say 24 hours in a day, I am with my child. I do it for several reasons. One, because I have anxiety when other people watch my child. That's a whole nother topic. Two, the village is very small. Okay. So who else is going to do it? And I know the naysayers are going to come out and say, well, you laid down with that man, you chose him, you opened your legs, and you're 100% correct. But I want to be honest and transparent with you. I honestly didn't truly know what it was to be a mother until I became a mother. I had concepts, I had ideals of what a mother is because, looking at your own mother or looking at other women who have had children and looking at their experience, I thought I had an idea. But I should have known with my own worries and anxiety, I just did not think about it as deeply as I should have.
She addressed it, and life is life sometimes. There's very few people that have a kid that don't plan on being with the person that they have the kid with. Sometimes life happens, breakups happen, whatever the case. But I think single parents do have to take some type of responsibility for being single parents and not raising kids in a two-parent household, which is the most optimal place to raise kids, which we know from all of the statistics and reports and everything else.
Having a kid is too fucking complicated. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to be responsible for this tiny human. I just want to be responsible for myself, and it's too late now.
I can't lie. We need to find her a therapist ASAP. This is not the message to be putting out into the world, because eventually with social media, your kids are going to see this video. They're going to be able to see what you're saying about them, what you're saying about motherhood, that you're having a full breakdown crash out about not wanting to be a parent. I think this is sad. I think it's depressing and stressing and probably something that should have been left in the phone. But to what she's saying, it seems like life is life in her. I have to make the assumption that she's a single mother, that she's doing it on her own, that she probably doesn't have much help, that she probably has struggles financially or working or anything else that's contributed to her feeling like this, like having a full breakdown, crying and posting it on TikTok. But man, I wish there was some way to separate whatever those things are from your child, from being a parent, because your kid didn't ask to come into the world. They didn't ask to be looked at as a problem or someone that you don't enjoy being around. Just like the other woman was saying, she kind of comes off like a mean mother sometimes. You don't want that type of energy to come off on your kids when they're not doing anything wrong and probably just being kids.
I fucking hate this. I hate this so much.
I'm 29 and hate being a mom to 4 kids some days. Maybe you should have stopped at 1 and not had 4 kids in the first place, because trust me, 1 kid is enough for a lifetime.
I fucking hate this. I hate this some days. I just, I'm never enough, and, I feel like I'm gonna disappoint one of my kids. And
All right, so I silenced this part because I didn't want TikTok to take it down for the music, but here she's just showing how her ex-husband was in Europe with his new bitch on their children's birthday.
I don't know if that's petty or not. 27, 0 kids, 0 man, 0 stress, with her crying like that about her situation. So based on what she's saying, she's now a single mother because she got divorced. Her husband moved on and is living his best life in Europe. And of course that's sad, and it's kind of like I said before, most people don't get into these situations, have kids, and not expect to be with the person that they have kids with, or be divorced, or have a breakup. That's not the life that a lot of people plan for, but that's what happens because life be life and in general. So you can understand somebody being frustrated, one, because their life did not go the way they expected, and two, they're left with all this responsibility. I would assume that the husband in this case has some type of custody of the kids, whether it's every other week, some days out of the week, at least some days in the month, where it's not all on her or she's receiving some financial benefit, but it doesn't take away the stress of being 29 and a mother of 4 kids by yourself. But as a parent, I thought this was an interesting conversation to have because it's not easy. It is hard as fuck. When you're a parent, you don't get many breaks. And when you do get breaks and want to do other things, you might be too tired to do anything that you want to do. It's harder to check things off your bucket list. You do have to give up some of your independent goals and dreams to put that energy into your kids. A lot comes with being a parent, but there are so many good things about it too. You get to see your kids grow, learn, mature, become smarter, stronger, more independent, achieve their own goals, and become little better versions of you. So it's not all bad, but I will recommend 2 things from my own experience. Don't have kids until you're ready, until you're where you want to be in your career, until you're in a relationship, a marriage that's worked, you're locked in, no issues, then have kids. But I feel bad for all the ladies saying that they just don't like motherhood and are kind of going through it. And the guy at the beginning of the video, I definitely relate to him. I have to make my own time to make these videos, where I have to spend some time away from my kids to be productive. So I get it. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.